All right, guys, we are going to go over proportions with tables today and a little bit of review. We'll start with worksheet number 1. Hopefully you already printed it off. You may still use a calculator. I'm going to go ahead and label these tables as A, B, C, and D. And what we want to look at is what's happening from X to Y. If the same thing is happening from each X to each Y, then it is proportional. So if we look at A, 1 times 17 is 17. 2 times 17 is 34, 3 times 17 is 51, and 4 times 17 is 68. And if you didn't know that fact, you can use your multiplication chart, or you can do backwards and divide. 17 divided by 1 is 17. 34 divided by 2 is 17. And 51 divided by 3 is 17, and so on. That'll help you figure out what's happening from X to Y. So for A, we can write an equation that Y equals 17X. Every X we multiply by 17 and we get the Y on the table. So A is proportional. For B, we have 8 times 1/2 is 4, or 8 divided by 2 is 4. 10 times 1/2 would give me 5, not 2. But 10 times 1/5, or divided by 5, would give me 2. So those do not have the same thing happening to X. So B is not proportional. For C, 1 times 3 is 3. 6 times 3 is 18. 9 times 3 is 27. And 11 times 3 is 33. So for C, we can write Y equals 3 times X. Every X times 3 gives me the Y on the table. So C is proportional. For D, we have 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 2 would give me 4. So that does not work. 1 times 1.5, or 1.5, would give me 3. Those do not have the same coefficient for X to get to Y. So D is not proportional. So for number 3, or the next problem down here, we're going to look at the same thing. We're going to have A, B, C, and D. All right. For this one, 3 times 9 gives me 27. 7 times 9 gives me 63. 9 times 9 is 81. And 11 times 9 is 91. So for A, we can write Y equals 9X. And so that is proportional. For B, I don't know exactly what times 2 gives me 9. So I can do division to figure that out for B. For B, I can say 9 divided by 2 is 4.5. So 2 times 4.5 gives me 9, and I can check working backwards. Taking my Y and dividing it by my X, 18 divided by 4 is also 4.5. So 4 times 4.5 is 18. 6 times 4.5 is 27. And 8 times 4.5 is 36. And I just checked those in my calculator. So for B, we can write an equation, Y equals 4.5X. So B is proportional. For C, 5 times 5 is 25. 7 times 5 is 35. 16 times 5 is 60. And 18 times 5 is 90. So they do have the same coefficient. So for C, we can write Y equals 5X. And C is proportional as well. For D, 30 divided by 3, or 30 times 1/3, gives me 10. 24 divided by 3, or 24 times 1/3, is 8. 18 times 1/3 is 6, and 12 times 1/3 is 4. So for D, we can say that Y equals 1/3 X. We can also say that Y equals X over 3, and D is proportional also. I'm sorry, I marked, which one was it? Go back to C. I'm sorry. For C, 13 divided by 5 is not 60, or 13 times 4.5 is 60. So C is not correct. Sorry about that. And for our last one, to see which ratios form a proportion, we're just going to find the cross products. All right, over here, if we do 48 times 56, we get 2,688. Cross multiply this way, 40 times 42 is 1,680. Those are not equal, so they're not proportional. For B, we have 8.5 times 75, which is 637 and 5/10. And 25, the product of 25 and 34 is 850, not equal. For C, the product of 9 and 112 is 1,008. And the product of 16 and 63 is 1,008. Those are equal, so C, those two ratios do form a proportion. And lastly, over here with D, cross multiply 12 times 3, and we get 36. And cross multiply 32 times 8, and we get 256. And those cross products are not equal. All right, we'll pick up again next time.